Ladies and gentlemen, we are here, we are live, we are ready to go for ADW Cross New Japan Pro Wrestling's Forbidden Dawn. As we get set here to get into our first matchup of the night, it is a one-on-one matchup between Mooney, the enigma known as Mooney, the very innovative offensive weapon, versus the most dangerous man in Japan, of course known as Minoru Suzuki. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Had a bit of audio issues here, but we are here live. Here we go.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from the city of Atlantis, weighing in at 225 pounds, the outsider.
Here comes Mooney making her way down to the ring, of course absent from the last event. Making the trip out to Japan. Oh, there is a sippy, of course. I need to get a sippy. Sippy is here. Making the trip out to Japan. She got hung up at the airport, absolutely. Yeah, we're doing bets. There's championship matches going on tonight. What do you mean? Tater could be world champion for all of 5 days. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but... As Mooney gets set to face off against the king of catch wrestling, the co-founder of Pancrase, the first mixed martial arts promotion in Japan. What happens if the real ass man wins? Then the real ass man is our world champion, and I just have to live with that fact. Conversely, if one of the ADW wrestlers wins a real-ass championship, they are the real-ass champion, and I just have to live with that fact.
And his opponent from Kamakura, Kanagawa, Japan, weighing in at 225 pounds, the King, Suzuki.
Why did I put championship matches in the meme event? Because every event matters. That's how it's going to be here in ADW. We live, we breathe chaos. This is a real championship event, ladies and gentlemen. We are in it to win it. As Minoru Suzuki, affectionately known to some, especially in America, as Murder Grandpa. Minoru Suzuki, 50 plus years old, still goes in the ring. The king of catch wrestling, very, very prominent in mixed martial arts in the Japanese world. Known to some as the most dangerous man in Japan. As we get to set to see how he will fare against ADW's own Mooney. Our first ADW Cross New Japan match is about to get underway. Here we go, the bell has rung. Immediately Mooney with a flip over German suplex. What an amazing maneuver right away. Minoru blocks. Of course, Minoru's biggest weakness, Suzuki, is his strikes. He is not exactly the most adept when it comes to his striking game. However, his grappling and submission game is unparalleled. Suzuki on the outside, perhaps thinking better of it as Mooney gets back to her feet here. And there we go. We see some of that strength from Minoru Suzuki lifting up Mooney, tossing her into the middle of the ring. Slamming the arm down, of course, targeting the limbs, perhaps softening up for a submission. But what a single leg drop kick from Mooney. Dropping the knee right across the chest of Suzuki here. Right hand turns Suzuki completely around and a double axe handle to the back of the neck, and Suzuki's on the floor. And ladies and gentlemen, as we get set here, Forbidden Dong ADW Cross New Japan Pro Wrestling, we're going to see a huge clash of styles. Oh my goodness, Suzuki just got right back up, but Mooney floored him immediately with another single leg drop kick. Knee to the face, and Suzuki is back down. Of course, Suzuki, once he's down, you cannot keep him down for long. He is extremely resilient, known to some to make sure that he does not go down first. We will see how effective that sort of passion, that sort of heart is, as Suzuki drops Mooney with a pile driver. Going for a kick, Mooney manages to block. Mooney lifting up, looking for something here. What's Mooney got in mind? Death Valley driver and goes right into the pin. Not quite. Suzuki kicks out. Mooney lifting Suzuki up now, looking for... Oh, that's super kick! That spun Suzuki completely around! Here's the cover! Hook of the leg! No, Suzuki kicks out at 2.5. Almost had ourselves a quick matchup here, ladies and gentlemen, but Suzuki managed to escape the 3 count, drops the knee across Suzuki's chest. Mooney now playing a little bit to the crowd, and absolutely dominating super kick there. Completely floored Minoru Suzuki. Suzuki now looking to recover as Mooney again plays to the crowd, feeding off that energy. Now a little bit of mind games, of course. But Suzuki, I don't think, still hasn't recovered from that super kick. That landed flush, completely spun Suzuki around. Now Mooney looking to capitalize on that weakness, perhaps dropping those left knees across the head of Minoru Suzuki right against the temple. Mooney now suplex position, drops Minoru Suzuki on the top rope across the stomach. And now again with that super kick, again. Suzuki is down, shoulders are down, leg is hooked, and it's over. Mooney left no prisoners here in the first shots fired of ADW Cross New Japan here, Forbidden Dong. 2 super kicks and Minoru Suzuki was felled. Mooney fires the first shot. ADW is up 1-0. My goodness me, what a first match right away. Shots fired as Mooney takes one for the home team. Easy clap. How long did that take? What, 4 minutes, 5 minutes? Excellent. We'd love to see it. Mooney fucking took no prisoners. That was fantastic. Clapped. Absolutely clapped. There was no saving that. That was insane. Old man cheeks, 50-plus-year-old man cheeks. I don't like saying that aloud. Let's get set for our next matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be our very own trash man, Frank Reynolds, going one-on-one with the never openweight 6-man tag team champion, Tomohiro Ishii. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, bringing it back, of course, that familiar music.
Making his way to the ring from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 205 pounds, Trashman Frank Reynolds.
I sure did say six-man tag team. There are trios championships in many promotions, including New Japan Pro Wrestling. Trashman Frank Reynolds, a former ADW World Heavyweight Champion, going one-on-one against the Stone Pitbull himself, Tomohiro Ishii, a man who looks like the living embodiment of a golem.
And his opponent from Kamakura, Kanagawa, Japan, weighing in at 241 pounds, one half of the International Wrestling Grand Prix Tag Team Champions, Stone Pitbull.
The never open weight six-man tag champion, of course, 1/3 of the six-man tag team champions, sharing that honor with a man who will be fighting later tonight in Kazuchika Okada and Hiromu Takahashi. Tomohiro Ishii here. This is going to be a battle of brutes, a battle of strength. Both of these competitors rely on their grapples, their power, in order to overcome whatever adversity stands in their way. We'll see which one comes out on top. Stone Pitbull versus the Trash Man, and we're underway here with our second match here at ADW Forbidden Dog. Samoan drop right away from Tomohiro Ishii. Punch to the gut there from Trash Man. Trash Man, I think, a little bit more versed in the striking game with this matchup. But Ishii, of course, very, very respected veteran, never really receiving an opportunity for world championships. Two-time Revolution Pro British Heavyweight Champion as the Trashman hits a belly-to-belly. As well as well-versed in the tag team division is Ishii. Former, of course, never openweight tag team champion. Never openweight six-man tag team champion. Sidewalk slam from Trashman to Ishii. Trashman, no stranger to gold, currently holds one reign over the World Heavyweight Championship when it was known as the ADW World Championship. Elbow drops to the knee of Ishii, and now a cover. Kick out at one. Not enough here to put away the Stone Pitbull. Strikes after strike, and look at this, another belly-to-belly suplex from the Trash Man. His strength on full display here tonight, lifting up Tomohiro Ishii, who no one would call small. And look at this, a deadlift gut-wrench suplex there from the Trash Man. Frank Reynolds in full control of this matchup thus far. Looking perhaps for another gut-wrench suplex. Completely dominating this matchup and lifting the knee across the face of Ishii. Total control from the Trash Man, Frank Reynolds here, looking for a power bomb on the Stone Pitbull. Spine first into the ring, and finally Ishii kicks the Trash Man off, looking for some offense of his own. Suplex position, let's see if he can hit it here. Oh, and the strength of Ishii now on display here, holding the Trash Man Frank Reynolds up as long as he can, letting the blood rush to his head before falling back with him. Trash Man looked perhaps to escape there, but Ishii did not let him. Tomohiro Ishii up on his shoulders, power slam, and here's the cover. Foot was under the ropes, that did not count. Of course, these are normal rules. Rope breaks, a 10 count on the outside. We will have some New Japan rules matches later tonight, specifically those for New Japan Championships. They have a different rule set in Japan for wrestling promotions, as Ishii is sent to the outside. Trash Man soon follows, and this brawl has spilled outside of the squared circle. DDT to the floor, but Ishii with a kick right to the side of Trash Man's head. And Ishii does not like brawling on the outside. He may be a brawler, but he prefers it between the ropes. Trash Man looking to capitalize after Ishii taunts, and another belly-to-belly suplex. Looking for perhaps another one. Belly to bellies are aplenty here tonight. And here comes Ishii with some strikes and a kick right to the face, and now stomping a mud hole in the chest of the Trash Man. Ishii up to the top rope, but Trash Man's back to his feet soon. Throws Ishii into the middle of the ring from the top rope, dropping the elbow across the chest. And now a swift kick to the spine. Trash Man adjusting his wrestling gear there, looking to drop an elbow drop, perhaps spent too much time. Looking for a sidewalk slam, flips up to the shoulder, and a power slam from Ishii. And now Ishii power bomb position. And now a taste of the Trash Man's own medicine. A power bomb to the Trash Man. Going for a strike, Trash Man blocks, hits a right hand of his own. Trash Man sends Ishii into the corner. Monkey flip sends Ishii into the middle of the ring. Ishii rolls to the outside. Trash Man escapes to the outside on the complete opposite side of the ring. The referee's count begins. Trash Man dropping the elbow across the chest on the outside. Of course, Trash Man, no stranger to brawls on the outside here. During many of his matches here in ADW, they have spilled outside the confines of the ropes. But Trash Man sends Ishii into the middle of the ring, taunting on the outside, but he has not gotten between the ropes. The referee's count continued there for a little bit as Ishii sidewalk slam into a backbreaker, and now bending Trash Man across his knee, turning his spine into a bow as Ishii goes for the cover. Now shoulders are down, referee in position, and a kick out at 1. Already this fight has been hard hitting as Ishii again hits a power bomb. Both of these competitors simply throwing out big power moves to see who gives in first. And so far, neither man seems to give up any inkling. Look at this. Trash Man, the agility to get his legs out from around Ishii and kick him in the chest to send him flying. Right hands rain down upon Tomohiro Ishii's face there. And now Trash Man, Ishii on his shoulders, Ishii escapes. Bit of swiftness there from the Stone Pitbull. Not used to seeing that sort of thing here. Slamming the Trash Man down onto the canvas. Stomp after stomp as the Trash Man tries desperately to get away from Tomohiro Ishii. And now look at this. Twisting, oh, and dropping Ishii on his face. Spinning facebuster there as Trash Man goes for the cover. Is it enough? Kick out at 2. Trash Man drops the elbow across the chest of Ishii again. Ishii slowly getting back to one knee. Powerbomb position yet again, and another powerbomb. I've lost count of how many powerbombs have happened in this matchup. But now Trash Man, perhaps sensing the end of this matchup, looking to hit Ishii with everything he's got. Blue Thunder Bomb! No, Ishii kicks out! Looking to drop the elbow across the spine of Ishii, missed. Clothesline sends Trash Man to the outside. Normal men here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. ADW, of course, firing the first shot as Mooney scored a decisive and quick victory over Minoru Suzuki in the night's opening matchup. Ishii and the Trash Man going at it here in the night's second match. And Ishii military press here. And look at this. Lifting Trash Man like he was nothing before dropping him down on the floor. Kick to the gut from the Trash Man to Ishii, and now a knee to the gut to follow to counter, rather. Referees count at 5 as Trash Man sends Ishii into the steps. Drops the elbow across the spine. Trash Man reveling in the crowd's energy right now. Crowd has been a bit on fire since this matchup began. Referees count at 7 as both men realize they need to get back into the ring. New Japan wrestlers, of course, accustomed to a 20 count on the outside instead of a 10. Back body drop from the Trash Man. Ishii looks to find something, some sort of offense here. He might have it. Oh, brainbuster! Here's the cover! No, a rope break. A right leg was just underneath the ropes from the Trash Man. Ishii hit the brainbuster that has completely stunted any momentum that the Trash Man may have had. The brainbuster, a devastating maneuver. Banned in certain wrestling promotions, as the risk of head and neck injury is just too great. But here in ADW, there are no holds barred. As Ishii wrenches the elbow across the middle rope, Trash Man finally getting something back in his head, shaking off the cobwebs. Kick to the lower back. Oh, and a kick right to the side of the head. If you die in ADW, you die for real, exactly. Now Ishii runs the ropes, looking perhaps for a senton. Hits a splash instead. Now Ishii posing for the crowd. I don't know how much of a good idea that is. Trash Man, of course, can come back from this at any time. But look at this, a bear hug from Tomohiro Ishii. And those power bombs likely have done a lot of damage to the back of the Trash Man, Frank Reynolds. We could easily see a tap out victory here. As Ishii wrenches back, and finally the Trash Man levels Ishii with those elbows and clapping the ears, ducks underneath. Look at this, shoulder thrust. And another. Trash Man running the ropes, feeling the momentum. Spin out power bomb. Trash Man shoots the half. Here's the cover. Shoulders are down. Is it enough? No. Ishii got the left shoulder up. Trash Man back to his bag of tricks. Another power bomb to Ishii. Any submission move that would target the back of these competitors, I can only imagine, would be hell and agony to go through here. Oh, and another splash from Ishii to the Trash Man on the outside. Both of the competitors have hit each other with suplex upon suplex, powerbomb upon powerbomb, and the strength of Ishii on display here. Another military press, dropping Trash Man on his face. Ishii sends Trash Man back into the ring. Referees count at 4, and they are back. Trash Man, though, had a bit of time to recover. Arm wrench sends Ishii to the mat. And now looking again for a gut wrench. Deadlift here. Gut wrench, deadlift suplex. Stomping down on the elbows, of course, perhaps looking to limit the strength of Ishii, which has been Ishii's biggest weapon. The Stone Pitbull could be in dire straits here as this match goes on. Looking to drop the elbow, and Tomohiro Ishii moves out of the way. Kick to the face. Oh, looking for a headbutt, but Trash Man was ready. Belly to belly suplex. Of course, Tomohiro Ishii has been told that he has the hardest head in all of New Japan. Rolling Death Valley driver, ladies and gentlemen, that could be it. No! Again, Ishii kicks out. But Trash Man is not about to let Ishii recover. Looking perhaps again for that blue thunder bomb. No, Ishii escapes. Oh, and look at this, a tornado DDT from the Trash Man. A suplex is essentially sort of defined as taking, it's almost like a flip. Like, if you're flipping someone, either if it's over the shoulder, if it's over, you know, whatever, if you're flipping someone either onto their back Usually onto their back. It's usually considered a suplex. It's the different variations that matter. And now Ishii again looking for that brainbuster. Look out! Oh, a suplex driver instead. Ladies and gentlemen, that might be it. That might be the first shot fired by New Japan. Oh my God, Trash Man kicked out. That suplex pile driver I thought was gonna call the end of the match. Ishii up to the top rope. What a splash. Another cover. Trash Man is still in this matchup. The Trash Man Frank Reynolds is not dead yet, even after that suplex driver. Splash from Ishii. All these headshots, I know. Trash Man back to his feet. Grappling. Oh, look at that Hurricanrana. What agility from the Trash Man Frank Reynolds. Ishii is stunned, perhaps wasn't expecting a maneuver like that. Oh, and a headbutt from Ishii. Sidewalk slam position. No, not quite. Looking for a power slam, and there it is. Have we learned nothing? Oh, and a running splash from the Trash Man. Running cross body, rather. Dropping the elbow across the face of Ishii. With how many targets we've had on the head of each competitor, I am surprised that we have not seen color from either of them yet. Showing how hard-headed, how sturdy these competitors are. And that neither of them have given up. Neither of them have run out of endurance. They are still fighting. Trash Man trying to feed off the energy of the crowd, perhaps to top off his tank a bit here tonight. Right hand. Flurry of strikes there before the Trash Man hits a Michinoku driver. Hooks the leg. Oh, and that's it. The Michinoku driver wins it.
Here is your winner, Trash Man Frank Reynolds.
Trash Man firing the second shot for ADW 2-0 in the ADW Cross New Japan matchups here tonight. Trash Man triumphing over Tomohiro Ishii. What a matchup. Whew. That was a lot of headshots in that match. Holy fuck. Okay, as I get set here for this next matchup. What is the next matchup? I have the card, I just had it closed. I believe it's actually our first championship matchup of the night, which ought to be so much fun. Where did Forbidden Dong go? Where have you gone, Forbidden Dong? I guess I probably should have had it open, but here we are. Here we are. Found it. Oh, yes, it is. All right. Forbidden. It has been forbidden. A goddamn tragedy. I could tell you, but it's forbidden. Forbidden knowledge. Damn, a tragedy. All right. Aubrey is just hovering over there with super glue, and it's a little terrifying.
What? I have super glue.
I know, I'm terrified of it.
The glue won't stick.
Oh, I guess that's fair. Glue him. Do not glue me.
She passed away.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Our next matchup is going to be for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. As we get set for our first set of championship matches here. New Japan putting their championships on the line first. Here comes our challenger. None of us are real. Zora, of course, coming off that heartbreaking loss in the Elimination Chamber just last week. Losing the World Heavyweight Championship, our longest reigning one thus far. Congratulations, but also Jesus Christ. Zora, of course, will be going one-on-one with the aerial assassin, the Commonwealth Kingpin, Will Ospreay. Noted very much for his aerial abilities and his athleticism, innovating the high-flying offense as no one else has ever done before. Former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, former British Heavyweight Champion. Now the current IWGP International Wrestling Grand Prix United States Champion. We will see how long that reign lasts, as he's got to go one-on-one with the living legend, Zora. I would absolutely be concerned. Jesus would be involved. Oh my God, it's Jesus himself. Will Ospreay making his entrance here tonight. ADW across New Japan. Forbidden Dong continues with its third matchup. ADW now looking to wrench one of New Japan's pro wrestling championships away from the promotion. The IWGP United States Championship is on the line here. Will Ospreay, of course, defended or rather, just recently won the IWGP United States Championship at AEW Cross New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door just this past June, winning a slobber knocker against Kenny Omega in order to win back the IWGP United States Championship. And that is what it is about here in this matchup. Will be contested under New Japan Pro Wrestling rules.
Introducing the challenger from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 219 pounds, the living legend. And his opponent from London, England, weighing in at 231 pounds, he is the International Wrestling Grand Prix United States Champion, the Phenomenal One.
God, I hope so. Just throw New Japan and be like, hey, this is your current United States champion. As we get set up, a quick refresher on what New Japan Pro Wrestling match rules are. This is a one fall to a finish, 60-minute time limit matchup. On the outside of the ring, of course, there is a 20 count. Titles will change hands via count out here. And look at this, a drop kick right to the face from Will Ospreay, immediately showing off. Does anyone hit the time limit? They have never hit a time limit in my matchups, but yes, in real life they hit the time limit all the time. It is very common to hit the time limit draw. Immediately Ospreay goes for a cover after a couple of drop kicks, not enough to put the living legend away. Look at this, immediately a tombstone position. Oh, and a tombstone lung blower from Will Ospreay there. Will Ospreay, the current reigning champion, in full control of this matchup here. Hits a leg lock DDT. And a kick right to the spine. Will Ospreay, the current leader of the United Empire faction in New Japan, as Zor kicks out of a 2 count. And another standing shooting star press from Will Ospreay. Zor back to her feet, but Will Ospreay berates her with kicks. Hurricanrana sends Zora flying across the ring. Oh, and a double hesitation drop kick to Zor, and Will Ospreay in firm control of this matchup here. Beckons Zor to his feet, and a fake out. Look at that. Instead choosing to hop out of the ring. Oh, and a German suplex from Zor as she tries to get back into this matchup. Octopus hold on the outside. Of course, despite this being New Japan rules, this does not count if a wrestler was to get submitted or pinned on the outside of the ring. Will Ospreay climbing back into the ring now. Zor waiting patiently, biding her time now. Hammerlock, leg hooked. Oh, and a hammerlock spine buster. Right hand to the gut as Will Ospreay tries to fight back. Look at this. Poison Rana off the springboard. And another standing shooting star press. Again, the athleticism and agility of Will Ospreay on display. Oh, and a knee lift right there. How long was the longest match of wrestling ever wrestled? If we're counting gauntlet matches, I believe the longest time was something like 82, 83 minutes. Zor looked to duck underneath the clothesline there. Hit a double leg takedown on Will Ospreay regardless. Zora up to the top rope, but Will Ospreay with a kip up back to his feet, a right hand to Zor. Oh, and an elbow drop. That's the longest that I actually know of. I'm curious as to what the actual longest match is, so I'm looking it up. Oh, and a kick right to the side of the head there. A barrage of strikes. Oh my goodness, a little bit of an emerald flosion here from Will Ospreay. And look at this, again, another fake out, playing more mind games here. Oh wow, no, according to Guinness, the longest wrestling match is 21 hours, 44 minutes, and 34 seconds. Happened in 2021 by Ihime Pro Wrestling at E3 Hall in Ihime, Japan. Now you know. Zor with a roundhouse kick to Will Ospreay. Of course, these wrestlers need not be concerned at the moment here for the count. Oh my goodness, an armbar there after a tilt-a-whirl. Ospreay, though, gets back into the ring at the count of 7. These guys do have a 20 count on the outside, but Ospreay breaks the count. As these competitors can't seem to determine whether they want to stay in or go out, they finally decide to settle between the ropes. Will Ospreay sent into the corner there. Zor making her way over. What she got in mind here. Oh, look at this. An armbar across the top rope. Wrenching that arm of Will Ospreay. Looking to perhaps whittle down the efficiency of that maneuver known as the hidden blade elbow strike. Oh, and a hip attack from Zor, and here's the cover. Hook of the leg on Will Ospreay, kick out. Zor lifts Ospreay to his feet. Kick to the gut again, looking perhaps for another hip attack. Oh, but Ospreay blocked. Here's the sippy. Oh, and there it is, the hidden blade right away. Here's the cover. Oh, Zor kicks out. Will Ospreay now setting Zor up against the ropes. What does he have in mind here? Irish whip into the corner. Look out! Handspring the Oz Cutter! Here's the cover after the Oz Cutter. It's over. Will Ospreay successfully retaining the IWGP United States Championship here tonight? An Oz cutter to Zor, and it was over. It is the shock of being declared pregnant not 20 minutes ago. The shock and awe. Huh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is not the end of our championship matches. We are actually about to get right back in to another New Japan title being defended here tonight.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the International Wrestling Grand Prix World Television Championship.
Kenergy? I hate that. Blame Ryan Gosling. Fair enough. I blame Ryan Gosling. It's all his fault. Here comes Nyx. Of course, fresh off a brutal tables, ladders, and chairs match against System Failures Black last Saturday at Judgment Dong. Now Nyx looks for her first championship opportunity here, but not for an ADW championship. Instead, it is for the New Japan World Television Championship here. A title that has only been held by the opponent, Zack Sabre Jr. Thus far in the title's history. Zack Sabre Jr., the only title holder as of this date. We will see if Nyx can sneak out a win here and perhaps earn notch another name on this title's history. Zack Sabre Jr., of course, known as a submission specialist. Nyx as a high flyer. We will see how these styles clash here tonight. Zack Sabre Jr., the submission specialist, was once told by his master, by his trainer, if you cannot make an opponent tap out in 6 seconds, switch holds. Zack Sabre Jr. taking that advice to heart, choosing to learn every submission maneuver that there is to learn, and in fact invent new ones throughout his illustrious career here in New Japan Pro Wrestling. While Zack Sabre Jr. may not be known as a friendly face here in New Japan, he is respected by the New Japan audience for his technical expertise. The second of New Japan's championships to be defended tonight.
Introducing the challenger from Colorado, weighing in at 208 pounds, the Falcon.
What a thong. I hate that I had to read that. I just saw it.
And his opponent from Wolverhampton, England, weighing in at 211 pounds. He is the International Wrestling Grand Prix World Television Champion, Zack Sabre Jr.
As we get set here for another New Japan Pro Wrestling Rules matchup. Of course, another refresher. 20 count on the outside of the ring. 60-minute time limit. There's a lot of British people in New Japan specifically. Like, there's a whole faction of them. It's sort of wild. The bell rings and the timer starts, and immediately Nix with a tour of the islands to start off the matchup. Nix now with a head scissors, sending Zack Sabre Jr. spiraling across the ring. Now taunting him a little bit. Zack Sabre Jr., of course, an excellent technical wrestler, immediately into an armbar. Look at that. Nix just managing to escape. And now look at this, a hammerlock. Immediately, look at this, again, swapping holds, bending the fingers of Nix back and snapping the shoulder. And now choosing to target the arms of Nix. Wise maneuver after they were softened up by that hammerlock there. Suplex position here from Zack Sabre Jr. And again going into that armbar, again softening up those arms of Nix. Again, Nix tries to escape, and again she falls prey to that hammerlock. Right away, the technical skill of Zack Sabre Jr. on display here. Looking perhaps for a quick submission victory by focusing on the limbs of Nix. And now look at this, bending back and, oh, twisting his feet on the neck of Nix. Nix trying their best to fight back in this matchup, but a kitchen sink to the gut. And Nix has to roll out of the ring to try and get some sort of recovery here. But Zack Sabre Jr. is soon to follow, German suplex on the outside. Zack Sabre Jr. now taunting the crowd a little bit. Of course, the crowd has never been shy about telling Zack Sabre Jr. exactly how they feel. But look at Nix sending Zack Sabre Jr. into the corner. And now crashing him into the announce table. Zack Sabre Jr. catches Nix, sends her into the announce table again instead. Referees count at 5. Oh, and slams Nix face first into that announce table. And now look at this, looking to soften up the legs of Nix, stomping down on those knees. Stomp to the arm. Referees count at 7. Of course, these wrestlers need not worry. It is a 20 count under New Japan Pro Wrestling rules. As these two continue to brawl on the outside, hammerlock half-hatch suplex there. Zack Sabre Jr. again focusing on the arms of Nix, stomping down on that elbow again. No love lost between these two right away as Nix is sent into the announce table again before being sent into the corner of the ring. European uppercut to the back of her head, and the way that she bended as she hit the apron, that did not look pleasant. Zack Sabre Jr. sends Nix into the barricade, taking complete control of this matchup, again into the announce table, and again into the barricade. Zack Sabre Jr., no remorse in this matchup. And now slamming Nix's face head first into the announce table. Back into the ring at 16, Nix follows, and they are back inside the ropes. A brutal display on the outside by Zack Sabre Jr. Now bending the arm across the top rope. Again, choosing to focus on that limb of Nyx. And here it is again. Look at this. Pinning her down by the bicep and stomping down on the hands. Bending the elbow back and stomping at it again. The crowd, of course, not impressed with Zack Sabre Jr. thus far. Head scissors, dropping the elbow across the top of the head. Going for a stomp, Nyx rolls out of the way, and Nyx comes back to life. Head scissors, hurricanrana. Kick to the gut. And a DDT, spiking Zack Sabre Jr. on his head. Shoots to the half, perhaps going for an early cover here. Thinks that DDT might have done enough, not quite. Zack Sabre Jr. back to his feet. Nyx now, look at this. Oh, and a reverse rolling cutter. Kick to the gut. Now again, perhaps looking for another DDT. Head meets mat there. As Zack Sabre Jr. looks to fight back out of this. Nyx not about to let him do it, though. Looking for another tour of the islands. Goes into the cover. Kick out at one again. Zack Sabre Jr. desperately trying to get back into this matchup. Clubbing blow to the spine. Michinoku driver from Zack Sabre Jr. Going for the cover, but there's a rope break. Nyx with a kip up, though. And again, going back to the well with that DDT. And Nyx perhaps thinking the more damage that is done to Zack Sabre Jr.'s head, the less he can think about what submission maneuver to do next. Nyx, oh! About to get set into the corner before that knee to the gut there from Zack Sabre Jr. as he takes control of this matchup again. Stomping down on the hand, oh, and right on the elbow. That could easily dislocate someone as Nyx delivers a back elbow and again looking for that somersault rolling cutter. And now look at this, a hammerlock position from Nyx, perhaps a taste of Zack Sabre Jr.'s own medicine there. Oh, Zack Sabre Jr. kicks Nyx off, trying to escape, trying to create some separation here. Snapmare from Zack Sabre Jr. Hesitation dropkick right to the side of the head. Both competitors roll out yet again here. Oh! Zack Sabre Jr. drops the knee across Nyx's face. Oh no! Stomp right to the shoulder. And Zack Sabre Jr. reveling in his work here. Oh, but Nyx sends Zack Sabre Jr. crashing into the post. Oh, and an enziguri from Zack Sabre Jr. as this matchup just continues to go back and forth here. Breaks up the collar and elbow and delivers a kick right to the gut. Referees count at 5. They have until 20. Back elbow drop from there from Nyx. Oh my goodness, picking the leg before delivering another back elbow strike. Nyx sends Zack Sabre Jr. into the ring yet again. Referees count at 7. Nyx up to the top rope. Elbow drop across the spine of Zack Sabre Jr. She shoots the half, hooks the leg, shoulders are down. Kick out at 1. Zack Sabre Jr., of course, resilient. Every single submission maneuver that he has learned and chooses to use, he knows how to get out of. Might not be able to get out of that, though, as Nyx delivers forearms to the back of his head. Jawbreaker from Zack Sabre Jr. and another kitchen sink. That knee strike. Oh, look at this. What is this? Again, the innovative submission offense here from Zack Sabre Jr. Looking perhaps to pop Nyx's shoulders out of her sockets. And now perhaps something else in mind. Ah, head scissors here. And an elbow strike right to the top of the head. Kick right to the side of the head, and the crowd comes alive yet again as Nyx comes back. Zack Sabre Jr. back into the ring after rolling out to escape. Irish whip into the corner. Oh, and a European uppercut. Back elbow from Nyx. Again, we're going back and forth. What a drop kick. Nyx to the outside, climbing to the top rope as Zack Sabre Jr. gets to one knee. Oh, but Zack Sabre Jr. back to his feet. Nix knocks him back with a right hand. Cross body. Nix again, another collar and elbow, and again going back to the well this time. A bit more momentum on her side with that DDT. Oh, but look at this. Victory roll up here from Zack Sabre Jr. Oh, and Nix just barely kicks out. Going again for a knee strike, just out of position there. Nix, perhaps, I believe that's like the 5th DDT she has delivered, and Zack Sabre Jr.'s head has to be ringing, especially after that knee drop across the face. Nix, oh, and a code breaker from Nix to Zack Sabre Jr., and both competitors are down. Nix is the first one to stir, up to one knee here. And now Nix up to the top rope. Zack Sabre Jr. lying prone, motionless on the mat. Look out, Phoenix splash from Nix. Here's the cover. No, Zack Sabre Jr. powers out. Nix can't believe it. Zack Sabre Jr. back to his feet. Nix springboard, phenomenal forearm. And again, Nix up to the top rope. Zack Sabre Jr. again motionless on the mat. Another Phoenix splash. Again, Nix goes for the cover. Is it enough? Do we have a new champion? No. The second Phoenix splash, not enough to triumph over Zack Sabre Jr. here. This matchup having gone 11 and a half minutes thus far. Or I'm sorry, 10 and a half minutes here. Oh, and Zack Sabre Jr. now choosing to focus on the legs here. Pulling the shoulder of Nix. Again, that limb targeting, a staple of Zack Sabre Jr.'s offense. Kick to the gut from Nix. Whatever Zack Sabre Jr. had in mind did not pan out. Nix sent into the ropes. Zack Sabre Jr. went for a big boot, was just out of position. And look at this, an octopus stretch from Zack Sabre Jr. Got it locked in deep. The tip of that foot locked around Nix's ankle here. And Nix managing to escape. Drop toe hold. And a running hurricanrana from Nix. Nix looking to fight back into this matchup here. Having dealt with so much punishment at the hands of Zack Sabre Jr. in the early goings of this matchup. Arm wrench here. And now Nix, look at that! Bit of limb targeting of her own. As she gets up to the ring, perhaps, or up to the top rope, perhaps thinking Phoenix splash again. Oh no, double moonsault lands right on the spine of Zack Sabre Jr. Feeding off the crowd's energy here, but Zack Sabre Jr. blocks the kick. Strike there. Russian leg sweep. Oh, and look at this. This maneuver, I believe he calls it, you can't play conkers in England, and it's enough to make Nix tap out.
Here is your winner, and still International Wrestling Grand Prix World Television Champion, Zack Sabre Jr.
To a submission with such a stupid name. But Zack Sabre Jr. comes out with the victory here. New Japan's titles remain with New Japan. We will see if the same can be said for ADW in the matches later tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, events like this cannot be put on without the help of our lovely corporate sponsors. Dick's, of course, a favorite among ADW fans here, as we get set for yet another word from our lovely sponsors.
What else lies in wait in Epochopolis for an expiring adventurer to explore? There are plenty of wonders waiting for you here. Come and visit the good people of Colorsville. This tiny farming hamlet is full of bustling activity and plenty of opportunities for you to spend all your money on useless knickknacks. Featuring a map of the greater Epochopolis region, a historic graveyard, and you'll be welcome among us here at Epochopolis. Pull up a map, take a plane, or drive down the famous Pennsylvania Turnpike. Epochopolis is waiting for you. Sponsored by Dong, a subsidiary of Dick's.
As we get set here to go into our next matchup, our only tag matchup of the night, the ADW Tag Team Champions, Vicious and Delicious, will be going up against Los Ingobernables de Japón in this exhibition matchup. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, back with Forbidden Dong. The car is back! Our ADW Tag Team Champions here. In an exhibition matchup, I must stress these are not for the this matchup is not for the ADW Tag Team Championships. Vicious and Delicious drew the straw, do not need to defend their titles here tonight. Instead, this will be known as an exhibition matchup. A tale to see who is the better of these two tag teams.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 448 pounds.
I love that there has to be clarity here in the Among Us. Los Ingobernables de Japón making their entrance here. Shingo Takagi and Tetsuya Naito, part of the offshoot of the CMLL faction known as Los Ingobernables, perhaps the most antagonistic faction in Mexican pro wrestling history. Tetsuya Naito joining Los Ingobernables during his trip to Mexico. Many of New Japan's wrestlers will take excursions to learn various wrestling styles to different countries. Tetsuya Naito choosing Mexico, joining Los Ingobernables before coming back to Japan and making a Los Ingobernables of his own. LIJ, Los Ingobernables de Japón, running roughshod over New Japan for many years. LIJ versus Vicious and Delicious here. Naito and Bront are going to start as the bell rings. Of course, I must stress once again, this is not for the ADW Tag Team Championships. This is just a test to determine who is the better of these two tag teams. Bront immediately starting off, rubbing the foot down on the face of Tetsuya Naito here. And now wrenching the arm back before slamming his arm down into the mat. Looking to do it again here. Bront taking full control of this matchup thus far. Tetsuya Naito, a veteran of Japanese pro wrestling. Once a young lion, now well respected in the Japanese pro wrestling community and industry. Well known for his tranquilo mindset as he hits a tilt-a-whirl neckbreaker there on Macho Aubrey. Tetsuya Naito sent into the ropes and a running clothesline from Macho Aubrey. Naito kicks Macho Aubrey off here. And one thing I did not mention about Vicious and Delicious's new attire, of course. Brand new, debuting their new attire at Judgment Dong. As Macho Aubrey hits Takagi with a headbutt. You'll notice the pictures of the bees there on the knee pads of Macho Aubrey. You will notice the same on Bronze, of course. They wanted me to reference that. They are, in fact, the bee's knees. Oh my goodness, and a high angle suplex from the demon of New Japan's pro wrestling. Shingo Takagi here. Oh, and a clothesline. Takagi, well known for his striking ability within New Japan. And look at this, Bront rubbing the ropes across the face of Takagi. And a chop from Macho Aubrey. And a kick right to the gut. Oh my goodness, and what a knee strike there from Vicious and Delicious. Bront now entering the ring as Takagi crawls towards Naito, and here's the tag. Right hand from Naito. Lifting the knee up, perhaps looking for a knee breaker, and he hits it. And now going for the cover. Macho Aubrey, though, right there to break it up. Doesn't need to. Bront powers out. Punch right to the side of the gut there from Bront to Naito. Now lifting Naito up on his shoulders. Neck breaker. Tag out. Macho Aubrey now enters the ring for Vicious and Delicious. Naito in a bit of trouble here. The easiest way to ensure victory in tag team matches is Aubrey goes for the cover. Kick out at 2. Easiest way to secure victory as a tag team is to cut the ring in half. Only deliver offense to your opponent in your half of the ring. Separate the tag team partners. Oh, and a neck breaker from Naito on the outside. This is contested under normal ADW rules, which means these wrestlers do have a 10 count. As Naito's dropped face first on the apron of the ring. Macho Aubrey sends Naito back into the ring here. Naito tags in Takagi. Tags in the fresher man. As the Dragon, Shingo Takagi. In a bit of perilous trouble here. Sit out powerbomb. Tag out to Bront. Yes, this is in fact animal cruelty. Head scissors from Bront. Takagi slowly back to one knee. Chop across the chest. And Takagi known for his chops. Bront delivers a clubbing blow that sends Takagi to the mat. Kick out at 1. And quick tags ensuring that both competitors remain fresh throughout this matchup. Vicious and Delicious exemplifying tag team wrestling as Macho Aubrey sends the Dragon careening into the referee. Now lifting her up on her shoulders, dropping her face first. Snake eyes. Takagi, though, swings out the legs. The Dragon tags out, and here comes Tranquilo himself. Oh, perhaps going for a shoulder thrust on Bront, but Bront lifted the knee. That completely stunned Naito. Naito hits the ropes and a running clothesline from Macho Aubrey. LIJ has had no answer for Vicious and Delicious thus far. As Macho Aubrey delivers enough knees to make Naito bleed. Macho Aubrey now pulling Naito into their corner. Naito with a back elbow. And you can see the color on Naito right above the nose. Drop kick right to the side of Macho Aubrey's head. Naito looking to escape, but Macho Aubrey doesn't let him. Gets to deal one more move as Braun enters the matchup here. Naito going for a running forearm, completely missed. Braun stomping down on the back. Naito with a kick to the side of the head. Naito perhaps looking to escape again, but a Saito suplex from Braun puts that to rest. And now here's the cover, hook of the leg. Takagi breaks it up at 2. Macho Aubrey looking to pursue the dragon here on the outside. As both competitors in the ring went for something and it did not hit. DDT from Braun. Oh, and look at this, small package roller from Tetsuya Naito. Kick out at 1. Naito now perhaps trying to get into the head of Braun, blocking the clothesline. Oh, and a slap right to the face. Definitely trying to get into the mind of Braun here in this matchup. Going for an elbow strike, just missed the mark. Macho Aubrey back into the ring for some fucking reason, but here she is. Braun turning his attention to the Takagi on the outside apron DDT. Now Braun going back across the ring to Naito, who rolled out of the ring to try to recover, and the referee's count begins yet again. Oh, and Braun making that cut across the nose of Naito, just that more painful, rubbing his foot into the wound. Naito sends Braun back into the ring at the count of 4, now turning his attention to Macho Aubrey. Macho Aubrey chooses to force him back into the ring instead. Braun's up to the top rope. Naito motionless on the mat, looking for that elbow drop, and he hits it across the chest. I thought Braun might be going for that frog splash. Choosing not to. Instead, we're going to swinging here at ADW's Forbidden Dong. Letting all the blood rush to Naito's head. Perhaps feeling that wound pulse as Braun tags out to Macho Aubrey. Takagi back in on the apron. Perhaps the fresher man here, as Naito has been taking so much punishment. Electric chair position here. Into a German suplex from Macho Aubrey. Macho Aubrey lifts Naito back to his feet. Now maneuvering him into Vicious and Delicious's corner. We could see a teamwork move here. Oh, and a cross body from Braun. Assisted there from Macho Aubrey. Naito rolls out of the way of the stomp. And a flying forearm from Naito to Braun. And look at this, the referee was in Naito's way. He couldn't make the tag. Braun with an arm drag. I can't believe it either, all things considered. Naito still has not gotten a tag off to Takagi. Stomp to the face of Naito from Macho Aubrey. Running the ropes and a kick right across the face. And Macho Aubrey now focusing back on Takagi, perhaps looking to remove him from the equation yet again to focus on Naito. Back suplex, dropping him across his spine on the apron. Tag team efficiency from Vicious and Delicious in this matchup. Referees count at 3 here. Back elbow strike from Macho Aubrey. As these two continue to brawl on the outside, Macho Aubrey finally sent back into the ring. Referee telling Naito to get back in the ring. Snapmare maneuver there from Macho Aubrey. Runs the ropes. And a knee right to the spine of Naito. Naito, though, back to his feet. Kick to the gut. Naito looking to get back into this matchup. Sends Macho Aubrey into the ropes. Twisting neck breaker. Macho Aubrey back to her feet quickly. Naito going for a tag. Macho Aubrey doesn't let him get there. Crawling headbutt. Here's the cover. Takagi back in the ring, breaks it up. Stomp on the arm there. And now dropping the double axe handle across the spine. And now look at this. Aubrey perhaps getting a little bit in Takagi's face here. Oh, and a senton over the top rope. Vicious and Delicious in complete control here. Final flash knee from Macho Aubrey. Referees count as 4 as Naito is sent crashing into the barricade. Finally back into the ring at the count of 5. Macho Aubrey up to the top rope. Diving elbow drop across the back again. Lifting Naito to his feet. And now maneuvering the helpless Naito to Vicious and Delicious's corner. Drop toe hold. Elbow drop across the back. As tag team efficiency again on display here from Vicious and Delicious. Their teamwork off the charts as Naito uses the ropes to try to get back to his feet. But Braun, apron DDT spiking Naito head first on the apron. Of course, the hardest part of the ring where wood and steel collide in a corner. Naito has taken so much punishment. I'm surprised he has anything left in the tank at this point. Tilt-a-whirl neckbreaker again. Or excuse me, float over neckbreaker there. Braun sends Naito back into the ring. Hops in himself. And now look at this. This could spell the end here. Braun setting up. Aqua Jet Lariat. Here's the cover. Oh, and Takagi breaks it up before the ref can even start counting. Macho Aubrey and Takagi back at it in the ring here. Naito kicks Braun off as Aubrey sends Takagi outside. Now Naito sending Aubrey to the outside. Braun got hit with a float over neck breaker. Oh, and a clothesline from Braun. Every time Naito tries to fight back into this matchup, Vicious and Delicious has an answer. Power slam there from Braun as Braun heads up to the top rope now. Beckoning Tetsuya Naito to his feet. Missile drop kick. Here's the cover. Hook of the leg. It's over. An absolutely vicious and delicious display from ADW's tag team champions here. Shingo Takagi barely made any sort of impact on that matchup. Vicious and Delicious continuing their undefeated streak here for ADW events in Season 2. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to put ADW's titles on the line with our first ADW championship matchup. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
The following champion versus champion contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the United States Championship.
What championship does ELP have? Did I give him one by accident? If he has one, he's not supposed to. Oh, no, he doesn't. I don't know why they're calling him a champion. Whatever. El Phantasmo entering the ring here for ADW New Japan Forbidden Door, or Forbidden Dong, rather. Forbidden Door's the actual title. ELP, a long-standing member of New Japan's Bullet Club. Yeah, but I don't know why it was so... The ring announcer said it was a champion versus champion matchup, which it is not. ELP is not a champion. El Phantasmo, as I was saying, a long-standing member of Bullet Club before being ousted by the current leader, David Finlay. Bullet Club known, of course, for invading New Japan, non-Japanese wrestlers invading New Japan's ranks. El Phantasmo from Canada, of Canadian descent here. Vaporwave twink. That fucking explains it. We will see if he is goated with the sauce. Moni, our current ADW United States champion. Yes, if he wins the championship for real. Of course, ELP from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. El Phantasmo, yes, is from Vancouver, British Columbia. El Phantasmo, not originally a wrestler. Actually an animator at first, before he ventured into the wrestling business. Working for various promotions before landing in New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is for the United States ADW Championship.
Introducing the challenger from Vancouver, British Columbia, weighing in at 196 pounds, ELP. And his opponent from the edge of reality, weighing in at 213 pounds, he is the United States champion, the Dragon.
Moni defending the United States Championship from New Japan here in this matchup, of course, being contested under ADW's rules this time. It is all for that, the ADW United States Championship. El Phantasmo, no stranger to gold. Three-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion while with New Japan Pro Wrestling. A high flyer with a devastating super kick. And here we go. This matchup is underway. Immediately, El Phantasmo takes control over the collar and elbow. Tie up and a back body drop from Moni sends ELP to the outside. El Phantasmo back into the ring at the count of one. Oh, and a tilt-a-whirl arm wrench there from Moni, dropping the elbow. Just missed the mark there. And look at that, a pop-up hurricanrana from El Phantasmo. And this matchup is bound to be fast-paced as both competitors look to outflash the other here with their abilities. Stomp to the arm there. And another stomp to the arm. Moni perhaps choosing to target some limbs here in order to stop that style of offense from ELP. Moni, of course, just barely having the strength advantage in this matchup. And here's the cover after a few kicks to the face. Not enough. Kick out at 1. ELP kicks Monty off. Fuck that arm in particular. Oh, and a strike. A kick right to the jaw. Monty rolls out to get some recovery. Monty hops back into the ring here. ELP sent into the ropes. Monty looked to duck underneath, but just misjudged the distance. Monty now sent into the ropes, and look at that, a head scissors, and ELP rolls through. Here's the cover. Kick out at 2. Monty has to watch out for ELP and what some call the right kick of God. That devastating super kick that he delivers from the corner. Suplex driver there. ELP has many signature moves to call his own, including the Canadian Revolution 2. A double underhook pile driver. And now stomping down on the arm of Monty here. Looking for a leg drop, moved out of the way. Drop kick from Monty to the side of ELP's head. ELP breaks off the collar and elbow. Going for a stomp, and here we go. This countering, counter after counter after counter. Fireman's carry position from Monty here. ELP kicking his feet. Perhaps looking to try and escape, but cannot. Dropped face first on the turnbuckle. And now a kick to the gut. What's Monty got in store here? Guillotine leg drop across the bottom rope. Monty pacing, looking to see what he has to do here in order to win. Diving springboard clothesline off the middle rope. And a right forearm to the face. Of course, both competitors have an offense that is unparalleled. Oh my goodness! Going for a snapmare, but landing directly on Monty's knee. A face smash there. ELP snap suplex to Monty. And now a bit of mind games, but a forearm. Monty's not having any of it. More forearms. Irish whip. Monty sends ELP into the ropes, ducks underneath. Drop kick. ELP rolls out. Oh, look at a senton. Monty follows. In pursuit, not letting ELP recover at all. And again with those forearms and chops and a kick right under the jaw. We are back to a 10 count, ladies and gentlemen. These are being contested under ADW rules. No championships will change hands under a count out or a disqualification. ELP back in the ring. Monty seemingly waiting to see what he would do, see if he would follow him back out to the outside. Look out! Tilt-a-whirl armbar there. Monty rolls through and escapes before more damage is done. Kip up from Monty. Atomic drop. ELP bounced there. Body slam. Lifting ELP to his feet. ELP sweeps out the legs from underneath Monty. ELP now pacing around. What's he got in mind here? Springboard drop kick from the middle rope. And now, again, another pop-up head scissors from ELP. El Phantasmo looking to get back into this matchup here. Another kick to the jaw. Kick to the gut, and now, uh-oh. Could he be looking? Oh, Canadian Destroyer from El Phantasmo. Here's the cover. Oh, and Monty just powers out after the Canadian Destroyer. Monty rolls outside. Very clever. Cannot lose the championship on the outside there. Oh, but ELP, look out. Tope corkscrew. And now stomping down on the right hand of Monty here. ELP perhaps thought the Canadian Destroyer was going to end things. It did not. Oh, and another face to knee smash there from Monty. Monty looks to send ELP into the steps, does not quite get it. but a spin out powerbomb there from Monty. Oh, and lifts the knee into the face of ELP. Referees count at 5 now. ELP sent back into the ring. Monty soon to follow at the count of 6. Both competitors between the ropes now, and I didn't even realize, but ELP is busted open, likely after that knee strike powers out at 2.5. Monty now twisting the arm, bending it over the shoulder, flips ELP over, and a kick to the back. And now Monty up to the top, perhaps looking for that black arrow. He hits it! Here's the cover! Oh, and ELP just barely kicked out. Kick right to the side of the head. And another kick. The crowd chanting "Fight Forever," showing their appreciation for these two wrestlers as they contest for the ADW United States Championship. Kick to the gut again. Monty up to the middle rope, looking perhaps for a sunset flip. ELP not falling. Oh, and a right hand. Escapes the sunset flip. Power bomb going for a drop kick. Monty moves out of the way and lifting the knee, managed to land it on the leg. Monty now crossroads, rolling cutter. Monty now feeling the energy of the crowd. Climbing back to the top rope, maybe looking for a second black arrow. Not quite a frog splash. Here's the cover. No, ELP just gets the shoulder up. Phantasmo still in this matchup here. Monty lifts ELP to his feet. Springboard clothesline from Monty. Tater is here. Kick right to the side of the head. I hope Tater's here. His match is next. Look at that single arm monkey flip from El Phantasmo. Snapmare again from ELP. Hesitation drop kick. And ELP, bit flashy as he gets back to his feet there. Stomping down this time on the left arm of Monty. And again, focusing on that left arm is ELP, stomping down on the hands and fingers here. El Phantasmo willing to take any and every shortcut in order to get what he wants, and what he wants is the ADW United States Championship. A flurry of elbow drops there from Monty to El Phantasmo. And now Monty sends ELP out of the ring. Runs the ropes. What's he got in store? Swan dive, but ELP moved out of the way. El Phantasmo now sends Monty back into the ring, looking to capitalize on that mistake. Feeling the energy from the crowd here, but Monty's back to his feet. Shoulder thrust. Sends ELP back to the outside. And again, ELP sent back into the ring. Monty now following in pursuit. Not about to let Phantasmo recover. Perhaps going for a cutter there. Both of these competitors going for moves that just did not hit. Kick to the gut. Oh no. CR2. Here's the cover. Oh my God, we have a new US champion.
Here is your winner and new United States Champion, ELP.
Phantasmo lands the Canadian Revolution 2 and wins ADW Gold. What does that mean for the future of the ADW United States Championship? El Phantasmo, new ADW United States Champion. What a fight here, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set for our main event of the evening. He was, in fact, goated with the sauce. Yeah, this whole time I was talking with Aubrey about this, and I'm like, if these fucking New Japan guys win ADW's belts, this is absolutely the consequences of my own actions. And now I have to write stories about it. And so Ladies and gentlemen, our main event. I did this. I know I did this. Good Lord. There are 2-on-1 matches, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, our main event of the evening. Oh, wrong one. Hi, everybody.
The following champion versus champion contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Dong jump scare. There's that customary coin of Kazuchika Okada's entrance. The Rainmaker himself, perhaps the golden boy of New Japan Pro Wrestling, 1/3 of the never openweight 6-man tag team champions. Kazuchika Okada, of course, known for putting on epic matchups in New Japan with the likes of Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, Hiromu Takahashi, Tetsuya Naito, and even Chris Jericho. Now looks to claim his first gold in ADW. But in order to do that, he's got one hell of a challenger ahead of him. Kazuchika Okada, of course, very green, starting out as a young lion in New Japan. Went on an excursion to America, to Impact Wrestling, to learn the ways of the American pro wrestling system. Came back, was a showman, was an entertainer, and quickly drew the fancy of Japanese fans across the world. Many reigns with the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Battles, like I said, against the likes of Jay White, Kenny Omega, Hiromu Takahashi, Minoru Suzuki even, who we saw earlier tonight, Will Ospreay. All of them conquered by Kazuchika Okada. My chair started to sink. There we go. My opponent wasn't wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event of the evening of Forbidden Dong. Okada versus the ADW World Heavyweight Champion. Tater, a staple of ADW throughout Season 1 and Season 2, winning the ADW United States Championship inside the Elimination Chamber, carrying it as the leader of the New Pearled Order, and now holding the World Heavyweight Championship in his grasp. However, across the ring is an extremely skilled opponent from New Japan's Pro Wrestling. I don't know why I'm adding an S to that. There is no S. New Japan Pro Wrestling. That is what it's going to be about. The ADW World Heavyweight Championship on the line. ADW rules. Tater versus Okada in our main event this evening.
Introducing the challenger from Japan, weighing in at 226 pounds, the Savior.
The savior of New Japan.
And his opponent from Illinois, weighing in at 269 pounds, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, the Omega.
Versus the Omega of ADW. Good night, Lev. Take care. Thank you for joining us. Even Tater hesitant to give up the belt, but he knows what he must do here tonight. The ADW World Heavyweight Championship on the line here in our main event of the evening. Kazuchika Okada versus Tater. One-on-one, one fall to a finish. The bell has rung and we are underway here in our main event. Tater immediately sets Okada up on the ropes, and Okada with a forearm. But look at that, a clothesline from Tater. Using the ropes for leverage on a rebound there. Dropping the elbow across Okada's chest now. Tater now focusing on the arm, bending it back. Okada fighting back with right hands here, though. Okada, of course, perhaps the face of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Appearing in many, many crossovers. Oh my goodness, what a lariat. Known especially for his resiliency and for his devastating Rainmaker clothesline. Okada, of course, the face of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Appearing in many crossovers. Not only here in ADW Cross New Japan, but also appearing in Tekken when they had a New Japan event, appearing in the Yakuza series alongside many other New Japan Pro Wrestling wrestlers. Referees count at 3, and Tater sends Okada over the ropes. And a suicide dive from Tater. Tater rushing back to life in this matchup here for his championship. The title he just won in the Elimination Chamber match last Saturday. Oh, and a reverse DDT from Tater there. And a bit of showmanship, perhaps referencing the fact that Okada himself is a showman, is an entertainer. Okada drops Tater across the apron. Oh, but Tater with a kip up. Counter after counter, and a diving forearm from Okada. Referees count at 5, now at 6. Tater sends Okada into the ring. Tater in pursuit enters the ring, but Okada's back to his feet. Oh no, oh look out. The $1 Million Dream submission maneuver here. Tater manages to break out. Back elbows delivered to Okada. Oh, and Tater now bending the wrists and snapping the fingers of Okada there. Okada breaks out of the Irish whip. Tater dodges the kick. Arm wrench from Okada, but Tater with a forearm to avoid. Headlock and a headlock punch from Tater. Okada sent to the mat. Stomping down a hip attack on the shoulder. Okada with a kip up, but Tater not impressed. Abdominal stretch here from Tater. Stretching out that abdomen. And look at this, head scissors from Okada to escape the submission. Going for a clothesline. Tater still on his feet. Fireman's carry here from Okada. Oh my goodness. Death Valley driver as Okada goes for the cover. Kick out at 2. Kick to the, looked like the side of the head there from Okada. And now slamming the knee down on the mat. And now Okada focusing again on the legs of Tater. Especially the knees. Of course, Tater uses those knees to deliver the Tater check maneuver, driving the knees into the spine of his opponent and the lower back. Suplex there from Okada as Tater uses the ropes to get back to his feet. Okada's there waiting. Going for some sort of maneuver, misjudged the distance. Tater roaring back into this with a strike. Going for a body slam. Okada was ready, had it scouted, reverse DDT. Oh, and look at this victory roll up here from Tater, looking to steal a win. Kick out at 1. Going for a kick. Tater misjudged the distance there. And again, Okada looking for that $1 million dream submission maneuver. Wrenching back on Tater, looking to deal damage, but Tater thus far has had an answer for that submission. Escaping each time. Oh, and a big boot from Tater. Okada rolls out to recover. Tater, though, springboard splash over the top rope. Tater lifts Okada to his feet, sends him back into the ring, not about to let Okada recover. But Okada back to his feet, waiting for Tater, went for a punch. Tater completely was unaffected by that European uppercut to the back of the head. Gut wrench suplex there from Tater. And now a snapmare. And Tater feeling the energy of the crowd, the ADW faithful, who have traveled all this way in order to view this event. Standing shooting star press and a cover. Kick out at 2. Oh, and an elbow strike to the top of the head. Tater lifts Okada to his feet. And another abdominal stretch, looking to stretch those ribs. Perhaps to injure them. Make the submission more painful. And again, Okada escapes with a head scissors. Right hands, right forearms. Oh, and a backbreaker there from Okada. I almost said elbow drop, but that was not correct. Kick out at 1. Okada up to the top rope now. He likes to deliver an elbow drop from up there, but he's beckoning Tater back to his feet. Going for a crossbody instead. Tater back to his feet quick, though. Going for punch after punch, but Okada was ready, had him blocked. Sends Tater into the ropes and a picture-perfect dropkick. Now Okada again focusing on the legs of Tater here, stomping down on those knees. Going for a senton, Tater rolled out of the way. Oh, and a Pele kick. Or more of a somersault axe kick there, rather, from Tater. Okada in the corner. Tater, I think, has Okada right where he wants him, or perhaps not. A kick to the back from Okada. Oh my goodness. That arm wrench followed by a kick and a punch from Okada, perhaps looking for it again. Oh no, a slap to the back of the head. The disrespect from Okada is prevalent here. Oh no, Rainmaker! Okada hits the Rainmaker! Oh, and Tater kicks out! Tater sweeps the feet out from underneath Okada here. And a kick right to the spine. And look at this, the airplane spin. Spin after spin here from Tater. A very effective maneuver. As we have seen. By the face, I mean, when you think New Japan, you think Okada. Getting the belt back would be extremely funny. Ain't that the fucking truth? Oh, Tater. Tater setting up. Could he see the Tater check? Could we see it? Look out. Tater check. Those knees delivered to the lower back of Okada. Here's the cover. And Okada kicks out. And a stomp right to the back of the head. And an arm wrench sending Tater to the mat. Japan's very interesting in that faces and heels aren't exactly, it's more like a gray area with Japan. Heroes and villains aren't exactly the dude named Evil is like sometimes a good guy. It's more like a gray area and a suggestion more so than anything else. As Tater gets a hammerlock in, Okada float over DDT. Kip up from Tater, and this matchup's pace has just quickened again. Standing shooting star press from Okada, from Tater. Stomping down on the elbow as Tater looks to take control of this matchup again. Okada kicking out of the Tater check. Tater, of course, kicking out of the Rainmaker. As Okada rolls to the outside, looking for some separation. I don't think Tater's gonna give it to him. Another suicide dive. Referee's count begins in earnest here. Yakuza reps. That'd be fantastic. Tater climbing to the top rope now. Okada on his front. Diving elbow drop, looking to deliver it to the spine. Okada rolled out of the way. Forearm to the face of Tater. And now Okada delivering kicks. And look at this. Stomping and choking out Tater in the corner and a pendulum knees. The showmanship of Okada on full display here. Up to the top rope. There's that elbow drop. Feeding off the energy of the crowd here. Lifting Tater to his feet. What is that? Headlock takeover. Wrenching back, Tater escapes. And again, Okada playing to the crowd. Feeding off, as in hum, feeding, no beating here. I really just broke for a second there. As Okada looks for some joint manipulation here. Delivers knees to the spine of Tater. Okada slowing the pace of this matchup down just the way he likes it. As much of a showman as he is also very technically sound inside the ropes. And Tater thus far has had no answer. Kicks to the face of Tater. And here's the cover. Ladies and gentlemen, do we have a new world champion? No, Tater kicks out. Wrenching the arm, and again, just showing off. Telling Tater he thinks he's better than him. Kick to the gut from Tater, though. That might do well to fire up our world heavyweight champion here tonight. Back elbow from Tater. Oh, and another somersault axe kick. And here's the cover. Oh, and Okada just powers out. Okada crawling to the corner after that somersault axe kick must have hit him hard. Must be dazed. Tater looking to take advantage here, perhaps. Stomp to the back. And a standing shooting star press. Oh, but Okada with a kip up. Oh, and a stunner from Tater. Here's the cover after the stunner. And Okada powers out again. Going for a punch. Okada ducked underneath. Clothesline from Okada. And Okada rushing back to life here. Tater misses the clothesline. Drop kick. Here's the cover after that flurry of offense from Okada. And Tater powers out. Kazuchika Okada, as I said, well known for his resiliency in the ring. Moves that would put any normal wrestler down. Could just not affect him as he hits a senton from the ring to the outside. Some have called him superhuman inside the ring with the punishment that he is used to taking. Standing shooting star press from Tater. These wrestlers now fighting on the outside. Okada kicking Tater off. Referees count at 5 now. As Tater is sent back into the ring. Okada soon follows. Lifts Tater to his feet. And now a flurry of strikes from Okada and another clothesline. And another clothesline. And one more. And now look, Okada looking to set up, looking to finish off this matchup. Oh, perhaps not. German suplex there. Oh no, there it is. Rainmaker again from Okada. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. Kazuchika Okada is the ADW World Heavyweight Champion.
Here is your winner and new World Heavyweight Champion, the Savior.
Ladies and gentlemen, the savior of New Japan Pro Wrestling has just stolen the World Heavyweight Championship from ADW. 2 of ADW's top titles have been taken by a rival promotion. What does this mean for the future of ADW? We will have to wait to find out. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of Forbidden Dong. Okada is the winner and our new ADW World Heavyweight Champion. El Phantasmo, the ADW United States Champion. What did we just witness? Ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for you tonight. I will be on a break. I will not be streaming next week. I will see you after a short break. I love you all. Please take care. Have a good night.